is the middle of winter, which might just be the perfect time to settle in for a long winter's nap. Here to share more about hibernation in Critters Uncaged, U of I Medical Wildlife Clinic, and Dr. Sarah Reach joins us with a couple of friends.
Yeah, so the one I have right here, her name is Bucket. I know, that's funny, and she came in a bucket too. Bucket's a ball python, and then we have Hazel here in the bucket.
Can I pick up Hazel?
You can. Hazel is an eastern box turtle. She was actually a patient of the clinic a few years ago, but she was way too friendly with people, and she had some other issues going on, and so she became an education program.
And you said Hazel kind of likes to fly, huh?
Hazel does. She doesn't box in like normal box turtles do. We think because she's just so used to people, so she doesn't have that impulse to box herself in.
She just wants to see everything,
she
huh?
Just, yeah,
does
she's very
Hazel
social.
bite stuff?
She bites her food.
Okay.
She hasn't bit any of us yet, but
that
I
was
say
really
yes.
my question, I think. It's, will Hazel bite me? Now, let's talk about the hibernation for these guys. What is typical for both the snake and the turtle?
Yeah, so hibernation, and when we say hibernation in reptiles, we usually mean brumation, and so people, people don't think about that different term change. So hibernation is usually for your mammals who are warm-blooded. Brumation is for your reptiles, and there are some differences between them, but they're very similar in the fact that reptiles who are in temperate areas like this, so they get like a summertime and a winter time, it becomes way too cold for them in the winter time because these guys are cold-blooded, and so they need to basically sleep for an extended period of time, and their metabolic rate basically goes down to zero. They breathe very little, they move very little. Unlike a lot of mammals, they will get up every once in a while, they'll go drink some water, they'll maybe eat some food, but they'll be very, very sleepy throughout the entire winter time and then come back around in the spring.
Are both pretty typical pets in homes?
Yeah. So the ball python, most definitely, probably the most or one of the most common reptile species that you can keep, especially snake species. Although she technically is from Africa, so doesn't usually brumate, or people usually don't brumate her. Eastern box turtle, very often box turtles are pets in a pet household, and she in particular is from Illinois, and so it would be very, very normal if she was a wild animal still to go through this cycle of slowing down in the wintertime and then speeding back up in the spring.
I think I'm going to regret asking this, but can I hold the snake?
Yeah. And we already prepped you before.
Bucket, yes. So she wants to be supported, as I understand it.
She just wants to be supported.
And no sudden movements.
And she just likes to, you know, hold on, constrict a little bit.
Sure.
But she's not big enough to do any harm.
Now, everybody who's walked in the studio has kind of asked this question. If you put the snake and the turtle in the same place, is there going to be a problem?
No, and they live together, not obviously in the same cages, but in the same room, and they wouldn't really be natural predators. Again, she's from Africa, but even if there was a snake of her size, she wouldn't really be going after a turtle like this. One, she's a little too big, and honestly, it's just not worth it for a turtle.
Sure.
A rodent, an amphibian, even another reptile, like a snake maybe, but not her, thankfully.
Now, so for Bucket here, it's only going to eat things that can swallow?
Yes.
So I am not on the list?
No, you are not on the list. So she gets like a small rat or a larger mouse about every 10 days, so does not eat that often, and she's pretty full up on that.
I fear that I'm not providing enough support for Bucket
No,
here.
she likes to be warm, so it's kind of cold outside, and so she's just seeking out that warmth, so if she can burrow herself in some ways, she definitely can.
And I feel like our turtle isn't getting quite the attention that the snake is, but the snake, it is constricting a little bit, which it's not technically, that's not how they secure their food, though.
Yes. Yep, so she would, so similar to like a boa constrictor, she would constrict around her prey and then eat it whole.
Hi there.
Yeah.
Don't eat me whole, please.
Yeah, no, so we have, we do not have another one of her in the clinic, obviously, because she, again, is from Africa.
Sure.
But we have, surprisingly, 4 different reptiles or amphibians in the clinic right now, which you would not expect in January. So like I said, we do have another box turtle, and then we have a garter snake, much smaller than her. her.
I would imagine.
And then we have 2 frogs, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
all sorts of reptiles.
All sorts
and
of reptiles, and so you have to really think about brumation, hibernation, all sorts of things like that when you have them.
I'm being told to wrap, and that's exactly what's happening around my arm here. So we will connect you with everything hibernation and reptilian on our Facebook page. Just check out ciLiving on Facebook, and I'm going to do my best to not get eaten by a snake.